Kendra.
That's me.
Hey, we are back in studio, and I am excited to be back in studio together with Kendra here at the Recovery Chapel. Kendra, how are you doing?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
I'm great. I'm glad you're here, man.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We have been off the air, call it coronavirus, call it other things going on, big things, sober livings and
Very big things in the works.
yeah, just a bunch of different stuff. So, but it's good to be back in studio. So I'm excited that you're here with us. Kendra, just tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get involved with the Recovery Chapel?
Oh, well, it started with needing recovery myself, really. I grew up here in Bakersfield and had some time in and out of heavy drinking, and moved to the coast because I thought I was going to leave the bar scene and go into the wine scene, and I had this feeling wanting more, so I was going to go to the wine industry, and I was going to, do the tours and be a big part of that over there, maybe weddings and stuff like that. Ended up drinking at biker clubs, and it was wine went to whiskey, and every other weekend when the kids were gone, I was completely hammered, and actually one of the bikers that I was hanging out with was in recovery for 13 years at the time, and just took me to a meeting, and I was, going to support that person. I had no idea that there was a sober life out there, and the drinking got really heavy at the coast. On the weekends, like I said, I didn't have the kids, and I came back and was like, I'm not going to drink anymore. This isn't what's for me. And lo and behold, I ended up back drinking again. When the kids left, I was completely hammered, until one day I couldn't take it anymore. My drinking on the weekends led me to just this complete desperation and brokenness. And thankfully, through that friend that I had, I knew where to go. And another friend of mine, who was my first sponsor, ended up sharing her recovery online, and so I knew somebody to bring me into the rooms. That gave me an outlet. That gave me some chains to hold on to pull myself out of the darkness that I was in. And that's where it started. I just knew right then and there that I couldn't hang around people who were constantly drinking anymore, and I needed to reach out to people who were sober, and that sober people do exist, which was something I didn't know before. So, and that I found my new connection with God, and just started this new journey. And I self-isolated a lot prior to my recovery, and so happened that the 12-step meetings that I was attending, some of my friends were going to here at the Recovery Chapel, and I decided that I wasn't going to self-isolate anymore, and I started coming here and got connected with you. So that's how it all started for me.
Right on. We're just so glad that you're here and that you are connecting, getting out of your shell, so to speak. The isolation is definitely a natural characteristics when we have to. We know our lives are becoming unmanageable, and so what do? We isolate and climb ourselves.
Cut myself off of the world.
Like
I don't want the
turtles.
world to see me,
Heck no, like a big sign around my neck. I got problems. No,
Literally.
not at all. So your story is one of redemption, and you mentioned your spiritual life getting back on track, your newfound relationship with God. Just real quick, what does that look like, briefly?
Oh, it's amazing. I'm so blessed, right? Growing up, I was strong in the church. My family was strong. My stepdad and the family that helped raise me, they were really strong in the church. Some incidences happened when I was younger, and I didn't realize it until working with my sponsor that was like a trigger and a turning point for me in my relationship with God. And when I was hungover one morning, God gave me an option. It was stop running away, stop being the child running away from home, or you're going to take yourself out. My depression and my anxiety was going to lead me to suicide. And that's not what God has planned for me. And He made it very clear that morning, it's time to come home. So as a fear, how would you say, a God-fearing child, like a stern father, that's how I look at him. I was scared, and I don't want to die. I don't want to be that person. I grew up, my biological father, drugs were part of his story, and I didn't want to give my children one less parent. And God, delivered me and brought me here. And we talk about the wanting to drink disappears, when we're in the program. But for me, it's like God delivered me. It was that instant. It was, here's the black and white. It's either you do this, you live, or you die. And so that right there, it was done. So today it's, I have to stay in a constant, and I'm able, I don't have to, I'm able, and I get to live in a constant state of gratitude now. Whereas before, when I wasn't close with God, it was always, why me? Why can't I do this? Why isn't this happening to me? And now everything has just switched, and I'm seeing, okay, well, these things have happened, yes, but I am so grateful for everything, every person, every experience, every just challenge that has come across my life, that I am, all of that makes me the child of God that He is shaping me to be. Mm-hmm. I get to be the woman that I needed when I was younger. And I couldn't do that without God. And so my relationship with Him now is just incredible. I'm so lucky because it says, come as you are. There are no prerequisites of having to do this, that, and the other in order to be a child of God. He just says, come as you are, and I will take you, I will hold your hand, and I will guide you. So that's what I did. I said, okay, Dad, I'm here. I'm ready to come home and live in the love and the light of God, It's big, like being in a constant relationship, and a constant communication, rather than, whereas before, I was, in between, oh God, I don't feel good, or oh God, this, and then going away every other weekend to do, my shenanigans. I don't feel like I'm diluting my soul anymore. And that's exactly what I was doing before. I would build it up, and then I would shoot it right back down. And now, like, I'm on this constant path and this constant connection with Him. And that wanting more that I was talking about earlier, it isn't there anymore. Like that God-shaped hole that we talk about so often, it's filled. He fills that for me. But now it's just a matter of, I just want it to overflow. And I just want it to give out more. And I want to be that lighthouse, that beacon of God's grace and His mercy and His love and His light. And I can feel it. It's something that I can actually feel, and it's better than any intoxicating feeling. That is my intoxication now,
You are a child of God, and our Father loves us very much. The best thing, and grace I refer to as a gift. We received a gift, right? And so what do you do with this gift? You think, oh great, this is a wonderful gift, thank you, and we put it in a closet and we go right back to our same habits and our hang-ups and our hurts and everything else. But with this gift that we get, you mentioned gratitude, we get grateful for this gift, and now I want to share this gift because
Absolutely.
This is the awesomest thing ever.
Yes.
I've preached on receiving a Millennium Falcon when I was a kid. That was like the ultimate Christmas gift. I wanted this Millennium Falcon. And I go like this because it was like huge to me, but in reality it wasn't that big, but I'm a lot bigger now. But it was just, I had to tell everyone, I wanted to take it to school, I wanted all my friends to come over and see it. I mean, it was just this gift that I was being given. And the other side of that too is our Father doesn't care about yesterday. He wants, and his Son taught this, that he wants to know your heart right now. Right now, what are you doing right now? It's action. Paul talks about our faith and our works and how those two are intertwined and how one comes from another and the fruit. And you are developing fruit right here at Recovery Chapel, working with
Absolutely,
others,
yes.
and so I'm excited to talk about that a little bit. So we'll segue into that, Recovery
Right.
Chapel, what's going on at Recovery Chapel. Big things, we keep saying big things for YouTube people. Stand by because you're going to see video of the whole chapel on our YouTube channel. We'll go through and do a tour. It's kind of a cool place. Started at this little garage. It was a roofing
Little
company,
warehouse.
little warehouse. And now it's a studio and a chapel. We have a chapel now.
It's a safe place.
It's a safe place. It's a hangout. There's like a little coffee shop thing going on, and it's kind of cool. So we have a car wash coming up.
We do.
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, as a matter of fact.
9 to 2.
9 to 2, car wash. Come down and get your car washed.
On 30 East 21st Street, for those who do not know.
Get to see what Recovery Chapel is kind of all about. Get to see us in all of our glory, throwing water balloons at each other and at your car. No, I'm kidding. It's not true.
I don't know.
Fully.
We might.
But it's a car wash to support what we do here at Recovery Chapel, because lives are being changed, lives are being rekindled with, and that soul maintenance that you kind of talked about. You know what, we have to exercise that. If our spiritual lives aren't exercised, then they're like your muscles, it just becomes weak.
Deteriorate.